This is at the police investigation step. Confidently I am very confident that this is going to go from stage 2 to 3. And the police believe that the evidence which has been submitted after going through it carefully is very...
A big breaking news is coming in. Johnny Somali's case is now shifting from police investigation to the prosecutor's investigation. Yes, you heard that right. This news is huge because until now, people were saying that South Korea wasn't taking Johnny Somali seriously. But in the past few days, Johnny Somali's case has gotten heated, and it's now clear that South Korea is actually taking this situation very seriously. There's a big shakeup happening every single day with Johnny Somali's case, and one thing is very, very clear. This time, South Korea has basically said enough is enough. They now have proper solid evidence, big evidence, enough to make Johnny Somali face the maximum punishment.
And that's what we have here. And it's only because Johnny Somali has doubled and tripled down, both against me and the Somali conviction team, but against Korea. He's mocked the judge, he's mocked the prosecutors, he's mocked law enforcement.
And that's exactly what's about to happen. So in today's video, I'm going to explain how and what is going to happen to Johnny Somali. But let me tell you this right now, even before I get into the details. Whatever is happening is not looking good for Johnny Somali. It's true, you can finally say that South Korea is now taking Johnny Somali seriously. And when the police hand the investigation over to the prosecutors, you know that's not going to end well. There won't be any excuse about being innocent, because prosecutors will dig the biggest hole to find even the smallest crimes you've committed. So just think about how deep they're going to investigate to find the worst things you've done. And yes, after this, Johnny, your game is over. So now, according to Legal Mindset, we know that Johnny Somali's case is now progressing from the police to the prosecutors. This shows that the Korean authorities are trying to speed up the process instead of dragging it out with their usually slow trials. The proceedings are moving forward and have not been stopped.
This is at the police investigation step. It will get to step 3, but we are at step 2. But what I can say now confidently is I am very confident that this is going to go from stage 2 to 3. So I am 95% certain this is going from step 2 to step 3. But this is very good news.
So everyone's question right now is, when will the new trial for Johnny happen? Because there will be another trial, and Johnny could be sentenced, but here's the new case progress. You can see from Legal Mindset that the criminal complaint has already been submitted and the investigation is almost complete, and it's completely against Johnny. I'll show you the next clip, but you can see that the next stage now is the prosecutor's investigation. It's said that prosecutors are tougher than the police. Cases are rarely dropped once they reach this stage. The prosecution will conduct a tougher interview with the defendant, and prosecutors will try to aggravate the crime. So this time, the prosecutor will not let Johnny escape. They already have clips of what Johnny threatened and said to the prosecutor. Don't be shocked if they also bring that to court to push for an aggravated maximum sentence for disrespect. Then comes the trial, and then the sentencing. You can see the process. According to Legal Mindset, things are moving faster this time. The police also found strong evidence to prove the case. This is really bad for Johnny Somali.
So this person who filed the report was brought in, and they went through the evidence, and the police believe that the evidence which has been submitted after going through it carefully is very, very good. And they're going to proceed on this aggressively and strongly and quickly. They're not going to drag their feet on this. They're not going to make this take forever. They are going to go aggressive with the Child Welfare Act as it's been refiled. Very aggressive.
That's actually good news. It shows that the Korean authorities are finally trying to make Johnny Somali face real consequences quickly. And you just heard from Legal Mindset that the evidence they found is clearly strong for the victim and the witnesses. So now, it might be too tough for Johnny to avoid pleading guilty, because as you already know, he has already made 3 guilty pleas and 1 more has been added, because he has no real defense against the proof. The worst part for Johnny is that most of the evidence comes straight from his own live stream. He recorded himself and spread it on the internet. Johnny can't even delete this evidence now, even though he and his team have tried many times to wipe it, and even tried to hide their Discord messages, as I've said before. That's exactly the point. Johnny Somali is now going to face new charges and more prison time will be added. But I just want to say, the Korean authorities and especially the prosecutors need to handle this evidence properly. I really don't want to hear after Johnny's trial that he somehow didn't plead guilty despite all this proof. And now, another video is resurfacing online showing Johnny Somali committing a crime crime, ignoring a hotel staff's orders and doing disgusting nuisance acts that bothered everyone around him. Just look at this.
Cable car down? What is what? What is what? It's a phone.
소말리아 출신이고 HIV에 감염되었습니다.
Why not?
그리고 저는 한국 여성들을 사랑합니다.
I see many people do
저는
YouTube here.
소말리아 출신이고
I can't do YouTube here.
HIV에 감염되었습니다.
Many people do YouTube
그리고
here.
저는 한국 여성들을
It's in my
사랑합니다.
face. Relax.
저는 소말리아
Better relax.
출신 HIV에
It's on my
감염되었습니다.
Many
그리고
people do
저는
YouTube
한국
here.
여성들을
What's the problem?
사랑합니다. 저는 소말리아
What's the problem?
출신이고 HIV에
Oh my
감염되었습니다.
God, I'm getting kicked out of here. Many people do YouTube here. What's the problem? Why can't I do YouTube? Straight? Y'all very... Because I see many white YouTubers come here. Many YouTuber white skin can film Seoul Tower, but now it's bro. I'm gonna go. Call whoever you wanna call. I don't care. I'll go to the cable car. Shut the fuck you. Stupid.
So, just look at this. How disgusting can a person be? And how shameless. He disrespected a woman like this. Something no normal person would ever do. This kind of trash behavior is only possible with Johnny Somali. Just look at the poor expression of that manager. She had no choice but to call the police because of what Johnny did right in front of women and others. And not only that, here you can see another video from Japan where Johnny did another shameless act. It's so disturbing I can't even describe it here because it would break the rules, but you can see it on the screen. Even a big influencer recently said on social media, "My most basic political instinct is that it's wrong to impose your presence on others." That's why people like Johnny Somali, whose whole genre is making people uncomfortable, make me feel enraged, genocidal rage. If you flinch, check someone, they should be allowed to punish you. I 100% agree with that. Johnny does this kind of crime that makes everyone around the world curse him and comment against him. They all want to see him punished. What you just saw, how he behaved with women and even children, this is his usual pattern. And why does he do that? Legal Mindset already revealed it before.
You asked for it by continuing behavior, by targeting women and children, by picking on those that you perceive as weaker than you, because you're a small, fragile little man who will never be anything. You'll always be a loser, a nothing. And you're going to enjoy that loser life in jail.
I completely agree with Legal Mindset. Honestly, Johnny Somali is one of the most dangerous criminals I've seen in my life. He's a real risk to women and children, and there's no guarantee that even if he faces consequences and goes to jail, he won't come out and do it again. The chances are high that he'll commit more crimes if he's free again. So if I have to say it straight, Johnny Somali and his allies are not just nuisance streamers, they have a real criminal mindset. And if they're freely roaming around, that's dangerous and harmful for everyone. Who knows how many more hidden crimes they might have already done. They could easily pressure victims to stay silent or find a way to cover things up so there's no video or evidence, but the victim still suffered. We don't know the full picture. That's how dangerous Johnny Somali really is. So now, it's good to hear that the South Korean authorities are finally taking action against him. But as I said, now the prosecution investigation will take time, and who knows, after that, the trial might get delayed as usual. Maybe Johnny Somali will be out here celebrating freedom for another 3 months. Or maybe even 3 years, we don't know. So what do you think? How long will Johnny Somali celebrate his freedom? The next 3 years? Or will he somehow stay free forever? Let me know your opinion on this.